Here are 5 words every RV enthusiast should know: advocacy, community, education, resources, rewards. That's what the RV Advisor was built on, along with protecting your rights. Visit thervadvisor.com.
Little birdie told me I'd need RV advice.
Get information straight from the horse's mouth.
Little birdie told me I'd need RV advice.
It's Just Ask Gigi with Gigi Stetler and Tom Alexander. Now here's Gigi and Tom.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Just Ask Gigi. I'm Tom Alexander. And of course, as always, there she is, the star of the show, Gigi Stetler. Hey, Gigi, how you doing?
Friend, how are you?
Doing well, thanks. And there you are in the...
Do I need to stay still?
No. Well, yeah, given the ongoing vertigo, we won't talk about my health issues, but it's a thing. I just got to live with it. But we're hanging in there, literally, grasping rails and everything to stay so I don't fall. Lots going on. We had our great spectacular grand opening, which we'll talk about a little later in the show, but I understand that you've got a couple GPS things, some stories to share.
Yeah, it was just interesting that in the last week to 10 days, a whole bunch of members just seem to, even if they're not GPS people, they're just, asking questions. And it seems that everyone's having the same situation. So I thought we'd talk about it and maybe how they say kill many birds with one stone kind of thing.
Yeah. So why don't you share?
Spill the beans?
Spill the beans.
So it seems that, something that I've talked about quite often about knowing what tree to bark up, when you buy an RV and, if it's new or used, whatever, but mainly if it's new, you just don't know if it's a manufacturer problem, if it's a dealer problem, it's an insurance situation, there's many trees to bark up. So you kind of, and unfortunately, because the dealers are so backed up that when you make your service appointment, if you can get one and you drop it off, that doesn't mean they even look at it yet. So it gets, stuffed back in the back, parking lot, and I've had customers 6 months later still haven't seen their RV. 6 months, 7 months. And I had one this week that I had to turn over to our legal department that I think was 7 months. They never touched it. It went to our buddies at Camping World. They never touched it. And they wrecked it or they hit it. It was hit while it was there. And they wanted them to claim on their insurance company. And, so they didn't want to do that. So they had called me for my advice. So the best way to do a situation like that, when there's damage, that a dealer causes damage, don't sit around and wait for their insurance company, because that's not going to happen. You call your insurance company, you tell them what happened, you make a claim. You file the claim with your insurance company and you tell them that it was damaged on their property. Your insurance company will go after the dealer's insurance. They do what's called subrogation, and they'll get a check just like that. Right. So instead of you having to sit there and fight the battle, because if you try to go right after their insurance company, they're going to do everything they can to not put that claim through. So that's why you leave it to your insurance company. Let them go fight it out with them. You take it out and go get it fixed somewhere else. So I've had so many of those in the last week or so, I can't believe it. So, because they've been sitting around and, RVs are not that easy to move around. So when in my parking lot is so tiny that we've hit customers' units, but we own it. We tell them, listen, I'm going to fix it. We have a body shop, but it happens, accidents happen, but most dealers don't even fess up and tell the customer, that they hit it. They just wait for them to come and have a surprise. So, but any event, those kind of things, it's not a mark against your insurance. So, and I have another customer that had taken a delivery of a brand new camper and took it to the campground, and I think the baggage, it was a fifth wheel, sorry, and the baggage compartment he didn't notice, but the front compartment, either he didn't close it all the way, or he didn't close his tailgate, or it got damaged when they moved it on with the forklift, I guess, or something, but he didn't know, he didn't notice it. And he got it back to the campground, and then he saw it and he made a call, and the dealership said, well, you must have hit it, and blame the customer. So the customer, is irate, thinking it's brand new and he
Yeah.
didn't do it. He's swearing up and down that he didn't do it. And so in a situation like that, it's a he said, she said, and it's an accident, it's a mistake. Don't waste your time and trying to get a lawyer and this and that, because you're not going to be able to prove, if you didn't video it when you left, if you didn't see it when you left, you're not going to be able to prove it. So, and it's not, and as much as I would love to blame somebody else, but sometimes you just don't know. And, don't cut your life short worrying about or thinking about what to do and stuff like that. Just call your insurance. That's why you have insurance, and just say, I don't know how it happened. If I did it or the dealer did it, I don't know. I didn't see it. And, and get it fixed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Do the right thing. Follow that advice right here on Just Ask Gigi. Very helpful. And did you have another one to share, or is that?
Well, they were all similarly situated. They all had kind of the same kind of situation, whether it's about, when they get these service appointments and they if the dealership tells you that they can't, if they don't go out there with a service writer and write everything down and, and go through the unit and take pictures and do all of that, be very hesitant to leave it unless it's somebody that you have a relationship with, a dealer, because that's what's happening is these dealers are taking them and they don't even go out. They say, oh yeah, park it over there. And, and you just leave it. And then you wonder 3 months later, 4 months later, they're not calling you. Well, they probably didn't even put it in the system. They probably forgot about you.
Yeah.
So that's there's so many of those going on. And, now it's getting cold. So, here's the other thing that happens is a lot of customers, they're thinking, oh, I'm going to have free storage for the winter. I'll bring it in for service,
Yeah.
and they leave it at these dealers' lots. Well, I can tell you that these units, if you don't winterize it yourself, don't depend on a dealer to winterize it. It's going to sit there and your pipes are going to freeze. And then come April, when they hook up water or you hook up water to it, all your pipes are going to be frozen. Do not do that. So either you pay for winterization and have them do it, and you verify it and make sure and you see the pink stuff in there, before you abandon your camper for the winter. I can't tell you how many calls I get in April that the dealer didn't winterize it properly or forgot or whatever. It's your responsibility. Even if the dealer tells you, go and check on it, get a receipt. So at least if you have a receipt that it says they winterized it, then you have some kind of recourse.
Right. Well,
If
yeah,
you don't,
no,
just
that's,
and I think, they'll tell you over the phone, oh, no worries, I'll winterize it because I can't get to it. No, that's not good enough, because no one's going to remember. Those employees probably aren't going to be there by April. So that's what happens.
yeah. Now, you know what? It's interesting you bring up winterization, because we actually have a question from somebody when we do the questions here in just a moment about that very thing, winterizing. So we'll do that on the other side of the break. She's Gigi Stetler. I'm Tom Alexander. This is Just Ask Gigi. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a moment.
Watch Just Ask Gigi with Gigi Stetler and Tom Alexander. It posts every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on our Facebook page.
We're back on Just Ask Gigi along with Gigi Stetler. I'm Tom Alexander, and Gigi, of course, we got a couple questions as we always do, and need your advice, your sage advice that we've learned and so much from over the years. Well, there's actually another Tom out there.
No.
This one's from Tom, and he writes, I don't have a storage facility for my teardrop. Now, this is apparently somebody that's just first timer. Any winterizing tips? So there you go. Doesn't have any, it's going to be outside. So What's the deal?
Well, to be honest, not growing up in the winter and not being an absolute expert on the best method, what I suggest is YouTube that model so that I don't want to, because there's so many different models that have, where they have different water heater systems and stuff like that. So just
Right.
YouTube winterize that teardrop model, and it literally will go step by step and tell you exactly where the plug is, what plug to pull, things like that. Because because I don't know that exact model and where the plumbing fittings are and stuff like that. I don't want to give you wrong advice, but
Yeah,
YouTube is your best friend for things like that. But yes, because there's your low point drain, and I don't know where it is on that model. But definitely YouTube, and put in the model for winterization. But definitely anything 32 and colder, you need to get that winterized. The other thing is actually air skirts. Air skirts is a very interesting product. So if you're going to put it in storage, you could put those air skirts around it. They're custom made to the size,
mhm,
and that actually will insulate a little bit better your tanks and stuff. So it keeps a lot of the cold air from going up under the underbelly of the camper, because those teardrops are basically little lightweight, not much to them campers.
yeah.
So something like
Let's-
that would be a good plus.
Yeah, that's excellent. That's good to know. And yeah, there it's amazing. We were just having this conversation the other day on one of the podcasts, and how incredibly valuable YouTube is with these videos. You can pretty much find out how to do anything on these videos. Um,
I do like to advise to watch 3. Don't just pick the first one that you find.
ah,
Um,
Good
I
idea. Go back for a second and third opinion, right?
yes, just because, there are people on there that I've seen that have never camped in their life and they're giving advice. So it's beyond me how they became an expert, but
Yeah.
I would just watch 3, pick 3, and then you can kind of, play around with that and there's always like the truth is in the middle somewhere. So,
Yeah.
and I bet you could probably write to the manufacturer too, and then they would give you that as well, the best tip.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Tom, for that question. And Larry writes, now this is kind of simple. Traveling south, and any good recommendations for a nice, small, portable outdoor grill to bring along? Do you have any that you use that you like?
Oh, well, I mean, there's nothing, the old fashioned Coleman grill, but I'm now in love with an air fryer.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
It is probably the best, newest kitchen gadget, and it grills. I have the model that actually sears up to 500 degrees.
Wow.
So I've not put a steak on the grill since. It's amazing, and yeah, you can put it outside and on top of, but if you're an old fashioned griller, I mean, I kind of, and then it depends if you like charcoal or gas.
Yeah.
I'm grilling, I prefer wood. So like the old fashioned, go get the sticks from the woods and
Right.
make a campfire. And we would just get my son used to, when he was little, where we would park, it's like a rock, rocks, the ground was rocks. So
Yeah.
he would build a fire right there on the rocks. And then we would just take an old grill grate and put on top, and that was our grill. So if you don't want to get that elaborate and
Yeah.
you want a store-bought one, the last time that I've actually bought a grill appliance was the small Coleman one that attaches to the propane line on your camper.
Perfect. Excellent. Well,
Check
thank
out
you.
check
Thank
out
you, Larry, for that
but check
question.
out the air fryer though.
The air fryer. There you go, Larry. All right. So Tom and Larry, thanks for your questions. If you have a question for Gigi, very simple. Just email us at info@thervadvisor.com, info@thervadvisor.com, and just put in the subject line JAG. That's Just Ask Gigi, and we'll get your question answered. When we come back, we're going to talk about our spectacular weekend that we had for the grand opening, and it was quite an event, and more to come. And we'll talk to you right after this break. This is Just Ask Gigi. Okay. In 3, 2, 1. Wrapping things up now on Just Ask Gigi, along with Gigi Stetler. I'm Tom Alexander, and Gigi, you know, I really, really wish that I was I could have knocked out that vertigo and have come to the big celebration this past weekend. But from all accounts, it was spectacular, and lots of stuff going on. Why don't you share some highlights?
Well, I have to say it was eventful. We worked so hard. Like technically our opening started on Thursday,
Yeah.
and we had worked so hard, like for the last few weeks, literally on just preparations and cleaning and painting and all kinds of things. And so starting Monday, we were doing the finishing touches. We laid the red carpet on like I think Tuesday or Wednesday. We put down the red carpet. We had put out all the everything that, you know, we were basically ready and set up. And I want to say the red carpet was down on Wednesday, and Wednesday at the end of the day, and basically we were going to start on Thursday, and it rained so hard. We had a week's worth of rain, so it rained so hard on Wednesday that it just my whole the awning, the new awning that we put up, the containers, everything was flooded. We were like in 2 inches of water, everything flooded. So there was water everywhere. We were literally underwater. And then so by, you know, we made it work. We just kind of like we had a blower. We were blowing the water out from everywhere so people can even get it. I mean, it was flooded. The parking lot was flooded. It was just, so we blew everything. We had, by the end of the day, Friday, it was all looking good again. And then I drove here in the Saturday morning in the rain. So it rained again. So flooded everything all over again. So every morning we would start all over again and dry and blow and this and that. And, you know, so by Saturday, it was like Saturday morning, it was still raining, black clouds. It was like, and we had the radio station coming here, and food and games and bounce house, and the bounce house blew away. It was,
man,
it collapsed. It was quite challenging. So,
wow.
And then at about maybe 15 or 20 minutes before the radio station showed up, which I think she came at 1, not sure, but like 15 or 20 minutes before she got here, the sun came out, and it was like nothing ever happened, even though there was water, but we were blowing it out of the way. But it was just so funny. So the sun came out. So we had a good few hours of traffic and stuff, which we haven't seen in so long at the dealership, because, you know, we've basically 7 months, you know, 7 months in the hot sun with no nothing. So the first real event that we've had, you know, customers, which has been so exciting. So all in all, it was great. And we went through Sunday. Sunday was good as well. So Sunday at the end of the day, and we had some vendors, some of their tents blew away a little bit, but so this one vendor, she was here with her son, and he was probably maybe 3 or 4 years old. And so this was by Sunday. So now the red carpet, which we glued down, was all gross, and all the glue was washing away, and it was all over the parking lot. It was all over everything. So when the sun came out, so the kid he's been splashing up and down, you know, up and down where the vendors were, you know, on the red carpet. So by the end of the day on Sunday, he's walking, and he's like, Mom, he's stuck. He's glued to the red carpet. He was stuck at the carpet, on the carpet. His shoes were glued, and because the glue dried, it dried with him, and then it was so funny. So the kid is,
man.
So he's stuck to the red carpet. It was great.
Eventful isn't selling it short. It was eventful. It was lot going on, but all in all, a rousing success. That's terrific. And of course, you know, we're going to have a lot more events coming up, and I promise I'm bringing my band out there next year. Right after, not long after the new year, we're going to play. Awesome. And so there's going to be plenty, and it's
yep.
Always expanding.
don't forget RV Advisor members, you get a free yearly inspection, and you can also spend the night here. So we do have, a limited basis, but you can stay the night here. I think it's like $60 a night on the water. And you'll get a free inspection and whatever else we got going on that night. So keep that in mind.
Will do. Well, that's it for another episode. Oh, and by the way, Gigi, tomorrow is the 200th episode.
Amazing.
Of the podcast, and we've had greetings. We've had a lot of people checking in, and it's really cool. Can't wait to share it with everybody. 200th episode. I can't believe we've done two.
We just did 100.
I'm sorry.
We just did 100. I remember celebrating the 100.
I know, right? It just time's flying by, and soon we'll be coming up on our 100th Just Ask Gigi episode. Not that far away. So we'll be doing that soon enough as well.
Do a shout out for the podcast, so you'll see it soon.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that, and thank you for watching Just Ask Gigi. She's Gigi Stetler. I'm Tom Alexander. We'll see you next week. So long, everybody.
Bye.